All right, welcome to Director's Cut, first podcast, produced by WillCo Media. I'm Stephen Joyce.
I'm Jack Baraky.
And so we're basically just going to be like talking about movies, all sorts of movies, indie films, break down anticipated movies, talk about upcoming films, COVID, how COVID has impacted the movie industry.
Yeah, and Nick, why don't you introduce yourself while we're doing introductions?
Of course. I am Nick. I am producing the podcast today, and back to you, Steve.
Because it's our first episode, just want to let you know that is not Nick's actual voice. He is coming down from something or just getting over something.
Yeah, yes. But
deeper.
That being said, before everyone gets mad at us, both Stephen and I have recently recovered from COVID-19, so we are not putting anyone in harm's way, and neither is Nick. We just had to clear the air there.
Right, I'm not either. I'm just the wuss that got laryngitis when the rest of the world was going through COVID.
Exactly.
I get to exhibit the symptoms and get everybody saying they feel so bad for me.
See, that's the thing. No one cares about any other sickness nowadays besides COVID.
Right.
Like if
I don't
you
think
have the
cancer's
flu,
even mentioned anymore.
no. If you have the flu, if you're on your deathbed for anything else, it's like, dude, get over it. There's COVID going on.
Literally.
Get over it.
And some people just don't get it. So I was in quarantine for 14 days at my house in Providence, and all my roommates had it, except for two of them, and they never tested positive. And I don't think they've had
my
COVID
whole family got it.
That.
So
yeah,
thanks, bro.
Yeah,
making me feel bad. All right, so oh wow.
Well, COVID not only has affected our lives, but the lives of people who make movies or people who love to go see them.
Exactly.
Like Jack and I.
Yeah. So I haven't been to the theater. Obviously before COVID, but I don't even remember. I don't even remember the last movie I saw in theaters.
I think it was no. Oh, it was Tenet. I saw Christopher Nolan's Tenet in theaters, luckily, in Providence.
See, and that's like a really big portion. So personally, I haven't seen Tenet yet because I haven't given it the time to sit down and actually like thoroughly.
The movie's crazy.
Yeah, I know.
The movie's
and that kind of brings me to my next point of how much like less into it would you have been if you didn't see it in the theater?
Oh, probably. I mean, like, I would have been obviously into it because it's Christopher Nolan and, like, his new...
But the whole experience of sitting down
it's just so different. Like, there's a certain scene which is in the trailer. And by the way, spoiler alert for anybody who's watching this, we kind of just say things and sometimes we'll forget that other people haven't seen the movie.
Yes.
But it's in the trailer.
We'll try and be as censored as we can to preserve...
Yeah. But in the trailer of Tenet, there's a huge plane crash, and that scene was all real, like no CGI. They actually drove a plane into the side of a building. It wasn't like up in the air. But like I feel like watching that on my computer or like even just on like a television like here just doesn't do justice.
And it's so weird because I feel like at this point, because of COVID, we see a lot of movies and shows just going directly to streaming sites like Hulu, Amazon Prime, Netflix, Disney Plus, and I feel like we're kind of shifting away from the demand of even needing to go to the theaters.
To the movies,
and I think like we grew up going to the theaters probably once a weekend to see movies. Multiple
it was like
times.
all I did as a child.
It was all we did, and me, like my younger brother who's like in 6th, 7th grade, I don't even know, he hasn't gone to the movies and he doesn't care about the movies. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like there's a whole generational gap, and I think because of this COVID-19, people are going to start moving. Like, there's no reason for people to put something into a movie if they can just put it on a streaming site. So I'm curious to see what happens with that whole thing once stuff actually starts opening back up.
And it was bold for, I don't know, is it? Tenet's not on a streaming platform. It's probably on like Apple.
Yeah, I think it's like on demand.
And you could pay it for like.
Yeah.
But like that's the thing, like. It took like a lot to. I'm sure it took a lot for like Christopher Nolan and his team to actually like be like, all right, we're still putting this in theaters. Like, it's meant. I mean, I think it did well. I'm not sure exactly the numbers, but I mean, highly anticipated movie with a notorious director.
I know. And that's why I feel like
cast.
We see so many of these delays because these directors have worked so hard to make these movies, and they're like, we can't
God
just
damn it.
lose the respect of it by just putting it out on Hulu. Like, we have to get people in and excited to go and see this movie.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the first movie that was like completely taken out of like going into the theaters and put mainly on like directly onto a streaming platform. I know.
Well, Mulan was like one of the first ones.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It was supposed to come out, and then I don't know a lot of people who ended up seeing that, but I think it was a total flop. But
really, they put a lot of work into
I know,
that
and they
movie,
just
too.
kind of were like, Mulan, Disney Plus, go ahead, you can rent it for $20 or something if you want, because they were trying to like substitute that for like if two people went to go see the movies, it was like a $10 ticket.
Yeah, I'm sure there's like a plethora of movies that were supposed to be put out.
Yeah.
I know there was a lot of delays. Like Dune was delayed. Obviously, the new Justice League.
Yeah.
That's
That's coming out soon though, and personally, not personally per se, but we have a lot of upcoming movies that we're excited for, and I think that can actually translate into our first segment, which is our most anticipated movies that are going to be hopefully coming out this year if everything goes smoothly.
Yep.
We're going to start with the new Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I think we're going to watch the trailer for, or a little sneak peek. I think Nick has something for us.
Alright, so?
Gave us a fake name again.
Again.
Not shocked. Yeah. I just don't understand why he keeps doing this.
You don't understand?
Really?
I feel like it's pretty obvious to just spoil things.
I don't
Your thing.
spoil things.
Your thing is
Name
to
me
spoil.
one thing that I've actually spoiled.
The last movie title. Fingers.
So you know what? All right.
I think that's funny because he spoils things
Okay,
all the
so
time.
that's what I was going to say. That the MCU's marketing is so good because Tom Holland, I don't know if you guys remember, but he spoiled that he was in Avengers Infinity.
It was one of the
Captain America.
Yeah.
It was one of the Captain Americas by going on Instagram Live and flipping through this script accidentally. But I'm pretty sure it's all like a marketing stunt. But what I find funny about this is Spider-Man No Way Home is apparently the official title for it. But 2 weeks ago, they had this whole thing where Tom Holland posted a title that wasn't No Way Home. It was something like 3 titles were released. And everyone was freaking out. It like broke the internet. So there was Spider-Man Home Slice, there was Spider-Man Home Wrecker, and Spider-Man Phone Home.
Right. I think it was.
Yeah.
I think it was like Zendaya.
Yeah.
And the other, what's that chubbier kid's name?
No, I'm not sure.
Okay, but it was the 3 of them. Each one of them posted a fake name, which I think was kind of cool because if you saw on the end of that trailer, there's the whiteboard with the name that was on there, and all around it were the names that they weren't gonna use.
Yeah.
Which I thought was kind of cool.
Yeah, all these crazy like Marvel fanatics have been like going back to that one like shot of the title and like with all like the scribbles around it, like trying to figure out like what's gonna be in the movie just from like that.
I'm pretty sure it said underneath one of them, it was like, this is a hint. Like, and with an arrow pointed at it.
I think whatever this movie brings to us is gonna like change the way Marvel like's entire universe is going and kind of change everything that's going on.
Well, it's funny you mention that because Tom Holland's contract with Sony's up after this movie.
After this movie, and like you said,
Not saying that it can't get renewed,
but I think it's going to be pretty interesting because this is so basically not a lot of people know what way they're going to go with this movie, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be a combination of like the Spider-Man like multiverse with so obviously how things ended in
they
Endgame,
exposed him.
yeah.
Oh no, in Endgame.
Endgame, and then they've been trying to like rebuild the Marvel universe around that because there's like Quantum Realm and different. And I think hopefully we're going to be seeing characters like Doctor Strange in this new movie, which is going to help with a lot with the Tom Holland because
I think they're working on a second Doctor Strange too.
They are. Yeah, it's going to be dope. But the main we're going to see Doctor Strange in this. Apparently we're going to see Jamie Foxx from the second Spider-Man, where he's Electro or something.
Oh yeah.
And then
yeah,
we're
yeah.
gonna see Doc Ock as well as
No
a villain.
way,
in
a
this.
throwback
Apparently,
to the
yes.
OG Spiders.
And which actually leads to like the biggest point, which is, are we gonna be able to see Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and Tom Holland all in one? Because with the multiverse, there's been speculation around if all three of them are going to team up in this one, which hasn't been confirmed nor denied, but I think that would be super dope.
Didn't you hear something that like only one of them was going to be in it, or maybe Toby wasn't?
Yeah,
gonna be
see,
in it?
no one's really given an exact answer by it, and even Tom Holland reading the script and like different portions of the script, he's like, this is going to be like the craziest movie ever. Like, he's super excited, everyone's super excited, but he's like, this is going to shock a lot of people. So it's going to leave a lot of people on the edge of the seat. But I'm curious, like, would you guys want to see all three of the Spider-Mans team up, or do you think that's cheesy? What do you think about like all that?
I would love to see it. Honestly,
I think it'd be dope.
And I like what you were saying, like this Into the Spider-Verse, like all this like
Yeah.
trippiness. Like there are timelines where they can actually appear together.
Exactly.
So I have a question for you. So where do you think it's gonna take off? Because at the end of Spider-Man: Far From Home,
Yeah.
he was exposed.
So
As
that's
Peter
where.
Parker, like mask off.
Yep. So I haven't read. There's countless comics, but basically the reason Doctor Strange is supposedly going to be in this next movie is to help with the masking of Peter Parker again, and
Like going back in time type of thing, or
I don't know exactly what it's going to do, but it's going to be some way to be able to help his identity. So I'm curious to see what they do there. But I think at some point, like obviously Zendaya at the end of the last one figured out that he was Spider-Man, and she kind of knew the whole time type beat.
Yeah.
But I am curious to see how they're going to do with the demasking of him, and like how that's going to affect everyone around
there
him.
has to be some sort of time travel alternate reality in this one, because
Yeah.
I'm reading here that like the MCU's Earth, it's like I think it's 616.
Yeah.
There's gonna be another version of Earth that plays into this movie called Earth 833. Don't know the logistics behind that, but I think that there's definitely gonna be some very trippy sort of like multiverse thing going on.
I know. And so that kind of leads me to my next question. Like, if we do get to see Toby, Andrew, and Tom all in one movie, do you think, first of all, who was your favorite if you have seen all three of the movies that each one have put out? And, like, how do you think they're going to, like, work off of each other? Because I have a very strong opinion about
they're
who
all
I
Peter
like.
Parker, which is weird.
They're all, and that's the thing.
Like, they're all different characters, but Peter Parker.
Yeah.
They all have their own Mary Jane.
And yeah, so Nick, you've seen the Tobey Maguire ones and the Andrew Garfield ones, and maybe the Tom Holland ones. Like, do you have any opinion on which ones you like better?
So personally, my favorite is the one and only, the very first one.
Yeah, Toby.
With what's his name there, Uncle Ben. See, I'm the worst with this. Everybody's gonna give me crap. They're like, this producer guy doesn't know what he's talking about. But Toby is the GOAT Spider-Man.
I agree with you there. I think it's interesting because, like you said, how this is going to turn into a multi-universe. I don't know if either you have seen the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which was like the animated thing they put out. First of all, amazing movie. I thought it was
a good movie.
I kind of like didn't give it the time of day when it first came out, and I was like, all right, like this might be cheesy.
Just kind of felt like a kid's movie.
Literally
almost.
the coolest movie I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was cool.
And the whole portion of it is not really a spoiler, but I guess so. Basically, they go into the multiverse, and there's like 8 or like 10 Peter Parkers that all like team up and like different. So it's not unrealistic that there will be 3 Peter Parkers, but they all have their own backstories and their own Mary Janes from their portion of life.
Yeah.
And it's just because it was some like quantum realm like exploded, they all like were joined together in that one thing, which I thought was really cool. So if it's anything like that, I'm super excited to see it.
But the weird thing is, to me, like, think about this. So you got Tobey Maguire, Peter Parker, not a part of the Avengers. You got Garfield, not a part of the Avengers. And you got Tom Holland with this whole experience where they fought like this this war. They like killed Thanos. People died. People came back to life.
Yeah,
He
I
died.
know.
Like he lived like a million more lives than these guys, like in his own universe. So it's
I
like
know.
gonna be a weird dynamic.
It is going to be super weird. And I think the only reason we're all saying this, hoping that they're going to be in this movie, there's always a chance that they're not, and it's just been, like, reported. But apparently the reason they're doing this now is because WandaVision is the new show on Disney Plus, and she is now bringing in characters from other MCU universes, like from X-Men and such.
Yeah.
So I think they're trying to create like a tell of like a combination of those universes now that like they're like getting to an endpoint from Endgame, and now they have to work off different things because of the opening of the multiverse and everything like that. So I think it's interesting, and because WandaVision they did bring in those other characters, I think there's a great possibility that it could be possible.
Yeah,
so we'll
yeah.
see.
So just like kind of wrapping up with it, the what is it?
The Far From Home.
No, like what's the title of the new one? I'm blanking on it.
Oh, No Way Home.
Oh, No Way Home. It's right up there. So do you think he can't go home because his identity has been exposed? Do you think he's kind of like on the run?
I have honestly no clue what it's going to be. I'm sure it's going to be somewhere around like him running away or trying to like hide, because after all the like destruction and kind of like corrupt way that Jake Gyllenhaal played that villain in the last movie, I think a lot of people who are supposed to be like the citizens in the movies are going to start being like, all right, is this like a whole corrupt thing? Like, are we trusting Spider-Man? Are we
Yeah,
trusting
because
all this?
Mysterio was
I
good
think-
at first.
Exactly. So I think a lot of people are going to be against Spider-Man in this next film.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, I don't know, but I would have trouble trusting the whole SHIELD like program after seeing that they've just used it for like a fluke the whole time with that Jake Gyllenhaal character in Mysterio in the last film. So
yeah.
I mean,
I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I'm excited for it.
Definitely something you should go watch.
I know.
Hopefully it's in theaters.
yeah, I think it should be. It's coming out. I'm pretty
And if
sure
it
on
is in
Christmas.
theaters and you have a chance to watch it on a streaming platform, go see it in
Yeah,
theaters.
please go.
If you're healthy enough.
Support your theaters.
Like, come on. All right. Well, speaking of the MCU, you want to move on?
If you sound like me, then stay far the fuck away from
Yeah.
everybody.
Well, keeping with the MCU.
Yeah, so we're going to stay with the MCU, and the next thing we're going to go over is the Black Widow movie, which I'm super excited about.
Yeah, it should be dope.
You don't know everything about me. The Avengers weren't my first family. At some point, we all have to choose between what the world wants you to be and who you are.
She's so sexy.
Can I say something
Yeah,
about that?
go
I
ahead.
think Florence Pugh at that final shot looks better. Like, I just think she looked better than Scarlett. All right, whatever.
Bro, look it. She's
All right, well,
gorgeous.
Florence
She's
Pugh is in
gorgeous.
it.
Yeah, no,
and
completely.
I'm super hyped for that.
Yo, can I be honest though?
Yeah,
Go
well,
ahead.
The only thing that I think when I see this chick is Jojo Rabbit's
You know what's
mom.
funny? I was just about to say, ever
True.
since I saw that movie, now I'm just seeing her as the Jojo Rabbit.
I
like-
also see like part like Marriage Story in there
Yep.
too. It's kind of
Yeah.
weird.
she's so good at everything.
That's
she
a
does.
great movie. Jojo Rabbit's a fantastic movie.
Yeah. So back to Black Widow. We see, if you haven't seen Endgame now, like,
It's gonna be a prequel.
screw you. Like, I'm
Yeah.
actually mad at you.
It's
But,
going to be a prequel.
basically, so she dies in Endgame, and it leaves every fan of the Marvel like, oh, is this the end? Are we gonna see Scarlet and anything else? And then when they release it, they are gonna be making this movie, which was like 2 years ago,
People were
because
like,
this was
"What?"
delayed for a while. They were all curious, like, oh, is this her? Like, did she actually die? Like, is she? This is going to be kind of her origin story, which I think is going to be
Yeah.
super dope, because from the beginning of like her appearance in the Avengers and all that, I feel like she was one of those characters where her and a Hawkeye actually, where she was kind of a mystery. Like, no one really knew where she came from.
She didn't have any real powers, and that's kind of why she related, I feel like, with Hawkeye.
Yeah.
They just had, like, some sort of...
Yeah, she related a lot with Hawkeye, and the fact that she was, at the time, one of the only girls in the Avengers. People, like, really liked that.
Like, in the main, like,
exactly.
Avengers.
In the OG, like
WandaVision, specifically.
Yo, Steve-O, turn your mic, like, up toward you. If you look at the mic itself, it's, like, pointed at your chest.
Oh, got you.
Oh my God, you have a voice now. I was like, wow. All right, go.
All right. Yeah, so like females in the MCU or MCU,
she was
like
OG.
the OG.
She was the OG, and I think it's gonna be super interesting to see her whole backstory, considering it was like she was from a young age spy, assassin. And
you were saying that so she's brainwashed, something about the Red Room, or
that's what. So that's have never read a Black Widow comic. I'm sure a lot of people know a lot about her origins just from stuff like that. But that's what I'm curious to see if they do, how far back they do go in this movie. Because from that trailer, we didn't see any of her like being a kid or anything.
Yeah.
So I'm curious if they are gonna show like what she went through as a child to show like why she is like this woman now. But from that trailer specifically, it looks very action packed and super dope. Like you said, like they looked like they were like teaming up there at the end with those people. And
so who would Florence Pugh's character be? Does she have a character that?
No, and that's why I'm curious, because this is, I don't know how many years before Avengers, like the assembling of the Avengers, but I'm pretty sure this is her like by herself through the entire movie. I'm actually curious to see if we are gonna see a Hawkeye in it, because I know like they go way back because they're kind of around the same realm from it.
Yeah. So it says here, Black Widow director says film hands the baton to Florence Pugh. So it might kind of be like a Captain America to Falcon. Is that his?
It might be, yeah.
Kind of like a handing off of like, but then again, it's a prequel. That doesn't make sense. Maybe she takes over as a spy or something. I'm really not too sure.
I mean, worst case, it's a bad movie and we see 2 hours of Scarlett Johansson kicking ass.
Oh, interesting. So I don't know how to pronounce the name, so I'll just say the last part of it. So for Florence Pugh's character, Belova, she's expected to be in upcoming MCU films. So she's probably gonna like enact that role of a Black Widow in future.
Okay, so it says
movies.
Here it's a prequel film that's set between the events of Captain America: Civil War and the Avengers: Infinity War. So
Civil War. Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that's actually changes a few things from my perspective.
So Civil War, they're already teamed up.
Yeah, so she's in both of those, and it's apparently in between that.
Interesting. So do you think there's a chance we could see like Spider-Man in it or something? Or?
I don't think so. I don't think he's casted for any of that, but I'm sure we're gonna get a look into like what's been going on before Infinity War and then after the Civil War. So I'm sure there's gonna be references to both those around. But I'm assuming this is gonna be like what she was doing in those in that time window between the two movies, because she did disappear for a little bit in the MCU there.
That's right. So,
and then Thanos brought her back to the team.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
The presence of Thanos drove her back.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Yeah, because didn't Hawkeye go find her, or did she go find Hawkeye?
She had to find Hawkeye after.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
Well,
I'm excited. This was delayed for a while. This was supposed to come out, I think, like last year at this time or something like that. So
Nick,
I'm happy.
Since we've been talking about MCU films for a little bit, do you think you're gonna ever bring yourself to go watch one? Do we intrigue you at all?
And if you watch one, I'm telling you right now, you gotta watch them all.
When you say watch one, you mean like in a theater, or like when there's nothing
general.
left to watch on HBO, or like?
So no. But if a gun was to your head, yes.
Look, they're not bad. I definitely am a fan of some superhero movies, but there are just some like die-hard, avid fans.
Yeah.
That's not necessarily me.
Yeah, no.
There is, though, if you are gonna ever dive into that whole universe, there is a specific order you should watch the movies in to make it the most sense. Like,
Okay, well then when I'm about to watch them, you can come over
perfect.
and we'll watch them together. We can
I'm there.
snuggle up under a blanket.
Deal.
Just the two of us.
Perfect. I'll bring my Snuggie.
Isn't it Iron
Is it a
Man starts it
forearm
off?
Snuggie, Jack?
Captain
Is it-
America, First Avenger.
Gotcha.
No, it's we'll be able to fit. Don't worry about it, Nick.
Oh, I'm not worried, kid. I'm not worried at all.
All right, you want to keep going?
Yeah, we can move on to
Venom Carnage.
Yes.
What is it? There will be carnage, or
There will be carnage. Let there be carnage.
so what is that? June.
Yeah. And that's actually, I wasn't expecting much from the trailer there
there
because of
is
how little they've actually shown about this next movie.
There is a trailer out though of Woody Harrelson being Carnage, and he's like him saying the
Well,
words.
dude, they finished filming that movie 2 years ago. Like,
oh, it's been done for so long.
Yeah,
that
it's
long?
been done for a minute, but they just haven't gone about promoting it much and releasing it. But I am super excited to
So
see that.
not to track back completely, but in terms of Spider-Man, the OG Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire, the whole black suit thing,
Yeah,
that's Venom.
that's Venom. So basically, a lot of people give Spider-Man 3, the Tobey Maguire version, a lot of backlash because there is a lot going on and it kind of fucks with like the storylines of a lot of things. But we had Sandman in that movie. We had Spider-Man. We had Black Spider-Man. We had Venom. And it all kind of... So
Wow.
basically, Venom's this parasite creature that comes from a different realm out of space, and it needs to take over a
host,
human body
yeah.
like any parasite would to just survive. So
So the backlash comes from the fact that
a lot of people just
It-
didn't like the film, but
yeah,
and the fact that like
his suit became
yeah, exactly,
Venom.
it kind of doesn't make any sense like logistically because the parasite took over the Toby's suit instead of him,
And it
and then
was
it also was trying to
slowly, like-
change him, and then it all like left because of a loud noise and went to Topher Grace,
Yeah,
who was
yeah.
the next Venom.
Who?
All right, so I got a question.
Yeah.
Yes.
How can... Again, I'm not like a super fan here or anything. I'm just asking, like, how can someone be upset about logistics when you're talking about superpowers?
Well, so
Do you
no,
know what I mean? Like, I
agree.
I don't understand, Jack. I'm just trying to. I want to get your opinion on it. Like,
I wouldn't consider myself like a super fan either, but people were mad at like the combination of the Sandman storyline, the Venom storyline, and then the Peter Parker turning into like a bad Peter Parker, but also like a weird like
I think that was the
Yeah.
Venom like changing.
it
him
was the
slowly.
Venom changing him, but that doesn't make sense.
And so like to go.
Can I ask though? Like, why doesn't that make sense?
Well, it doesn't
Jack?
make sense.
I don't get it. I'm
It-
asking.
Yes, because the
yeah.
Venom like got into the suit, his Spider-Man suit, and it turned all black or whatever.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like in the Tom Hardy Venom, it just got attached to him and he turned into this monster. So it's
Yeah.
like the problem is like it didn't need a human host
Yeah,
in the beginning.
like what I don't understand, and I could be completely wrong. I haven't read my fair share of comic books about this, but the whole concept of him having the black suit while Topher Grace was also Venom, like it kind of just
Oh, true.
yeah, like it
There
didn't
was
make any
two
sense. There
Venom.
was two Venoms at that point, and then like the storylines got mixed up from like was he officially done with being Venom and then like gave it to Topher Grace, or was he still kind of Venom and then it all kind of just ended with
And then the way they get the Venom
dying.
out of
yeah
Topher Grace is like the loud bell,
yeah
right?
the loud bells.
So is that how? But Tom Hardy seems to be able to control Venom.
Yeah, first of all, Tom Hardy was dope in the first
Yeah, and
Venom
I
movie.
think who they was it Sony did they do this movie through? I think that kind of helped with the whole thing.
Yeah, and the fact that it was, I'm pretty sure the first one was rated R.
Yeah, it's like kind of brutal. I mean, he's this
it
like.
was actually PG-13.
I know, but like this next one has potential.
Oh, definitely. And that's the
I would
thing,
love to
like,
see an R-rated film from like the Marvel universe kind of thing.
And I thought initially, kind of backtracking, that Black Widow was going to be R, but I think they decided not to. But,
Yeah. We're getting signals from our producer over here that he wants some food.
It's rough out here. Producer of a podcast. I'm just trying to.
He's sick. He needs his nutrients.
I do need nutrients, as you can tell.
Yeah.
Way over here.
But you guys don't know his voice yet, so next
that's
episode
true.
it's gonna be like a squeaky high school.
Did you say
Yeah.
squeaky? Bro?
we'll leave that to us.
Talking about your movies.
Yeah.
I'm gonna order food. Anybody want anything? Anything great?
Let's ask the viewers.
Yeah, drop a smash if you want to.
Drop a like and the smash button to comment about the.
Does Steven want a BLT?
Okay, so Steven, is that like code for order me a BLT?
Are you gonna get something?
Nah, I'm good to be honest.
Bro, why do you care? Does he dictate how
Yeah.
your stomach feels?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
We better still be rolling. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Of course we're rolling. Gills.
Stop.
You want like a fry, Jack?
Give me half a fry, no salt.
Steven, you want a BLT?
Yeah, if you don't mind.
I don't mind.
And I'll probably just eat a little bit of it, and then the rest move on our way
take some
back.
home.
Yeah, take some home, save it.
It's a beautiful thing, bro. You take some home, enjoy it later, and remember who was nice enough to get it for you while you're eating it later.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Jack.
Jack, seriously, last chance.
No, I'm good. Thank you, though.
Okay.
I appreciate the offer. Venom.
We ready on the next one?
Hold up.
Oh, okay. Keep going.
I just saw something interesting, and I wanted to clarify it before I...
So, and Carnage is a different type of Venom? Or
Yes.
are they just... I'm going to look up
Well, here's the
difference
thing.
between Carnage
This is why it's so interesting about all this multiverse like shit that's going on now, because the whole Carnage character in the comic books is fought by all the Spider-Man. Like the Spider-Mans come in this movie and like help him fight. So like
the Spider-Mans were in the first one?
No, they weren't. That's a thing. They're like waiting for the crossover for Spider-Man to be back in this Venom.
Got you.
I am really curious to see if it's going to be R. I doubt they're going to pull the trigger on it, but I think it would be
He's
so
the
much better.
offspring of Venom.
Yeah, because everything that Tom Hardy's in, obviously he's badass and he's dope, but I think if you make it so he can't just be himself and his explicit self, then I feel like it could take away from the character. But the only reason the first Venom, personally, I didn't think was as bad as everyone else thought it was is because Tom Hardy was in it.
Oh, so Cletus Cassidy, who plays by Woody Harrelson, he was a serial killer. He was a serial killer that merged with Carnage, who was an offspring alien symbiote called Venom during a prison break. So we didn't show that trailer specifically. There's like a small clip though of Carnage in a prison cell. So maybe there's a prison break or something during that. Yeah. I'm not sure.
I just really thought, like, while I was drinking this water, like, how intense my gulping is this close to the mic. We could do like some water gulping ASMR.
If it was bad, I'd let you know. You're good.
Yeah, and so I guess Carnage is far more strong and powerful.
Yeah, that's why apparently they needed Spider-Man to help kick some ass, but we'll see.
All right, you want to...
Yeah, we'll move on.
So I think we're straying away from the MCU here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, we personally pick superhero shit because it's just fucking dope.
Yeah,
but
it's fun to talk about. Yeah, it's like.
But now we're
I'm
gonna be talking,
very excited for
so
this
here we
one.
got Godzilla Kong.
Very excited for this one.
Which comes out pretty soon.
It's Godzilla.
Mr. Residenza, these are dangerous times.
Godzilla's out there and he's hurting people, and we don't know why.
There's something provoking him that we're not seeing here.
The myths are real. There was a war, and they're the last ones standing.
Nobody gonna stop me.
No way. So some sort of like deflection action going on there.
Yeah, I feel like if I'm going in to see that in theaters, I want to like do like Molly or something and just be part of it.
Yeah, that movie is going to be a trip. So you had the storyline with Millie Bobby Brown from King of the Monsters.
Yeah, I was gonna say I haven't seen. So is this the second movie or something? Like I didn't see the one with Millie in it.
You have all the you have the OG.
That's what confuses me.
You have the King of the Monsters.
Yeah.
And then you got this
and
one.
the OG Godzilla.
But that's this universe of Kong because there's like a 2014 version, then there's a version with like I'm blanking on the name, but
well, correct me if I'm wrong. Kong was never that big in any other movie.
No, there must have been something. There must have been something that happened on Skull Island or something.
Yeah, because initially, just hearing Kong versus Godzilla, you're kind of thinking like Godzilla's fucking this dude.
He has
up.
God in his name. Like he is literally.
And Zilla's the second.
He shoots fire out of his throat.
Yeah, so in my mind, it's already if Kong somehow pulls this off, it's an underdog story.
And think about this: the last movie was called King of the Monsters, and he fought Mothra, he fought Rodin, he fought, and then King.
Yeah, for the people who have no idea what you're talking about, like who.
So these are all other monsters. So in King of the Monsters, King Ghidorah, which is like a 3-headed dragon monster that lives in a volcano, comes out and screeches like so loud for all these other monsters to come and fight against Godzilla. Guess who's the only monster that didn't come? King Kong. So the whole thing was that
he's like an animal though.
He's like, and he doesn't want to play into the whole thing.
He just loved that chick, dude. He's not a monster.
He just loved the chick.
That's what I don't understand. He literally loves that
Dude,
chick.
That's honestly that's why I love King Kong.
Yeah, right.
He's a misunderstood, gentle giant.
He is.
He's just trying to protect his lady. You know what I mean?
He's trying to protect his lady and his land. Like he loves Skull Island as his home. He's like, I'm not gonna go, but all these other monsters go. Godzilla ends up beating them all. And then now Kong's going to do it himself? That's the question.
It's the Batman versus Superman.
Yeah, I know.
Mind.
But that literally reminded me, that last shot of him like deflecting his like blast, that reminded me of like Batman when he had the kryptonite.
Yeah. It's going to be sick, and it kind of brings me back to the point where like that's a movie you're going to want to see in theaters if you have the chance to. I feel like the whole
100%.
Intense action, like there was so much going on in that 30-second trailer that like would not be the same if we watch it like on a laptop on a streaming service rather than going into the theater.
Yeah, for sure. So do you think Godzilla's gonna or King Kong's gonna win just because the shock factor?
I think it's gonna be some BS like tie and maybe they're friends at the end and they go grab a milkshake. Or maybe
like a third creature comes and they have to save the day or something.
Nothing's off the table when it comes to shit like this.
I love when they name movies. It's like something versus something.
Yeah.
It's because it's never really
that.
Like,
it's never that.
They're actually
it's
versus
never just
each other.
that. Yeah.
And I'm curious to see why Kong comes for Godzilla.
I think it's gonna be sick. When does this come out exactly?
Um,
Because I know the date's changed like 6 times because that's just the life we live right now. The movie lovers can't get a right answer. Let's see. March 25th. So we might have to do a review.
yeah, March. I mean,
But that's what's beat, bro. Because I'm trying to see this in theaters.
I was just gonna ask, does that come out like in theaters and on a streaming service, or?
I think it is. I think it's on both, and I think it's on HBO.
I mean, I think it's in theaters and on HBO Max.
Yo, I'll watch that one. If it comes out, I'll watch
That
it.
it's gonna be crazy. I'm very, very excited.
I don't even know. Are theaters even open by us anymore? Like,
What's
I
that?
don't even know what the rules of society are anymore.
What do you mean?
Are theaters open or are they still closed?
Some theaters
Or
are open.
select.
Some
Okay,
theaters
that's what I thought.
I was walking on Federal Hill the other day, or Thayer Street, and I walked by a movie theater, and they were playing one movie, and it was that one with Stephen Yeun, Marie. It's like the more Eastern film with Stephen Yeun, Glenn from The Walking Dead.
No clue.
I'll get it up.
I don't know. I think it's gonna be interesting. We'll definitely have to do a review of it, and then like, I'm sure there's gonna be some BS like speculation of like, oh, if Kong would have done this, would he have 1 hour? Like just some bullshit. So I'm curious to see how it ends, and then we can go into deeper detail of what we didn't like, and stuff like that.
And you know
about
what's
the movie.
funny? It's like you have these monsters fighting, and you think that's all there is, and then there's like this whole like subplot of humans trying to like be involved.
Yeah, be like, I'm gonna use this gun and shoot him.
They're titans.
Yeah.
They are literally titans of their own respective species. Like, they're
Like,
just
look at those buildings, but you think Millie Bobby Brown's gonna like do anything to affect the storyline?
That's true. That's very true. Like literally the smallest human.
Unless she's still like 11 from Stranger Things, she does some fucking mind control shit.
So I have a question for you. So if Kong is that big, and he's connected to the original King Kong with like Jack Black.
See, that's some bullshit, bro.
But what if he's a baby Kong? What if he's young?
Have you seen King Kong?
No, I know he's like not that like, but he like they have their. They could live for forever if they wanted to, right? They're like supernatural. Like he probably was like 13.
Yeah, that's what I don't understand. Like,
have you seen King Kong?
Yes, I've seen the movie.
So you know how it ends?
Yeah. Oh, he dies. That's right.
Bingo. So this is my point. Like, how? And if you
It
so
probably
King
was
Kong,
just
right?
another
Bro,
one.
this is my shit right here. Like, this is King Kong. That's
he does
like,
die. Yeah.
That's where I live. King Kong in the original movie, like 1933 version, he's in the scene where he's like crawling up the Empire State Building. He's like this big, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he is small. Yeah.
He's nothing. So like then you know what I mean? Like he's big enough to like carry someone and have him be like in the palm of his hand. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. I feel like as the years go on, they're just making him bigger.
Of course, it's crazy.
But then again, like on Skull Island, there could have been more Kongs, like out there.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know enough about the Kong universe to try and explain this whole thing. But definitely, as the years go on, creatures get bigger, more gunfire, a lot more explosions.
I'm looking up of whether or not.
Godzilla vs. Kong. Alright, I need your opinions on something, though, while this is kind of related to it.
I was actually going to ask you something, but go ahead.
Well, alright. Silverback gorilla, grizzly bear, to the death. Who wins?
I think gorilla, just because he's got like the thumbs.
Bro, I kid you not, I feel like we have like telepathic communication. I was thinking to myself, like, if you threw any two animals in the entire world into a pit together and you threw a gun in there with them on the ground, no animal except a monkey can pick that thing up.
And I was gonna say, like, so we have this discussion, like, this is a reoccurring discussion with my boys at school, and they all are on the grizzly bear side, and my one point is he has thumbs, and if, depending on the environment they're in, he's using everything around him to fuck this, like, grizzly bear up. Like, the grizzly bear's got the weight and the paws, but, like, I'm team silverback gorilla.
So are you saying that that's not what the average answer is? Are you hearing?
No, everyone says grizzly bear.
Bro, they're out of their minds.
That's what I'm
dude.
saying, and they're saying
They're
one
out
swipe of the paw
minds.
and the silverback's done. But
Have
I'm just
they not
like,
seen Tarzan, dude?
Exactly.
Like, they took out a cheetah, bro. Like,
Yeah.
they're
OD.
huge.
Like,
they're huge, dude.
Yeah. Like, I was like peeping like silverback gorilla fights, like, and they go so hard. Like, they're literally boxing. That's the thing. Like,
yeah,
they're like the closest to human boxing.
You got trees
ever.
around them. You can jump and swing and stuff.
Yeah, they're doing some spicy shit that like the
Bears are
grizzly bears
ferocious though.
Yeah, the fangs on them. But the thing is, the gorilla's got the teeth too. The only thing
kind of seems like a shoo-in that
the only thing the gorilla or the grizzly bear has is like, if it will fuck you up, like meat wise, like the like.
What do you mean?
Like, he eats meat. Like he goes and, like, the gorillas just eat like plants and shit. You know what I mean? Like, they're used to hunting like meat, so like maybe they'll just be more vicious that way.
I don't know, man.
I think they're just.
I think
smarter.
we're gonna have to buy a grizzly bear and buy a silverback and just see what's good with it.
Put them in this room and.
All right, what's your question?
Kind of similar to Jack's, like, you know, grizzly bear and the gorilla and the, like, who do you think wins? My question is for you two. Let's put some. Well, not. I don't know. We can determine the stakes. I don't know if it's gonna be money or what, but like I want to know from you guys who is gonna win, King Kong or Godzilla.
Okay, Jack, you go first.
Oh, no.
And I want to know what the punishment is if you're wrong.
Well, like I kind of said, like, I think they're going to kind of, like, it's going to be a cop-out at the end of this movie. I think they're going to leave it some cliffhanger where there's not actually one definite winner, and so they can make another, like, movie. I think Kong, just because it's not him expected to win, is going to somehow come out on top, but I think they're going to leave it where, like, even if one of them dies, I think, like, the ending scene's going to be, like, the tail shaking of Godzilla showing that, like, he's still alive or so. I think it's going to be a cop-out
King
ending.
Kong's, like, hand, like,
yeah,
twitching.
exactly. I think it's going to be a complete cop-out, and, like, there's going to be another movie in 2 years.
So Kong for you. You're taking Kong?
I'll take Kong.
I am also going to back Kong for 2 reasons. One, actually 3 reasons. One, his thumbs, to go back to the thumbs. Just the whole idea that he can use tools and stuff.
Shit, yeah.
And I think that's going to play a major factor in the movie, which moves to my second point. Godzilla's greatest feature to him is the whole, like, the atomic breath thing.
Yeah.
But I think the fact that he can reflect that, which has happened.
Which we just saw, yeah.
We saw that there. Not only we saw that there, but in King of the Monsters, Mothra, which is literally like a giant moth, used her wings or something to deflect the atomic breath and knocked Godzilla out like pretty viciously. And I also, third reason's a little bit more sentimental, but I just think Kong, like, he's got
the heart.
He's not
gonna give up, bro.
Like, he ignored King whatever the name is, call in King of the Monsters because he loves his land. Like, all he wants is his home. So part of me feels like Godzilla's gonna mess with his home or something.
And his woman.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like
apparently that movie's not connected to these at all.
But I do feel like Kong's gonna be
He's
like,
only 25 feet tall in the 2005 version, and then he's like 100 feet tall in these ones.
I feel like he's gonna be like knocked down
that's what it
early,
says.
and then he's gonna be like, it's gonna be like a big underdog thing of him being like, all right, like, I have a lot more to fight for, and he's gonna go all badass.
I don't even think he wants to fight, which is my problem. Like, I think Godzilla's gonna mess with Kong or Skull Island somehow.
Yeah,
that's the only reason why he gets mad.
All right, Nick, who you taking?
Yeah.
I think it's funny that you're
Be the devil's advocate.
No, I know, right? Well, because... All right, so can I ask a question, though? Like, is this atomic breath crap? Is that like a known thing? I've never seen... I didn't see, like, the black and white old Godzillas. I didn't see the new ones. I don't know anything about it.
So, he has some, like, radiation or something for being, like, so down in the, like, depths of the ocean or something. And at the end of the trailer... Remember, like, he was shooting that blue stuff?
No, I know. I'd see that. I just didn't know if it was like a new power. That
atomic heat beam.
It was a new. See, it was a new power. It, like, not new anymore, but they, like, when they first introduced it, it was a huge deal. Like he was like getting like, I forget what happened. He was getting like rocked, and then like he starts glowing, and then he just like breathes this like atomic breath and like knocks out one of the enemies in King of the Monsters. But yeah, it was new then, but now it's like just another thing. But
all 8 powers Godzilla has.
Yeah, let's go through them.
Atomic breath, flight.
Oh, I forgot he can fly.
Metal manipulation.
Oh, he can fly?
I forgot he can fly.
I thought he lived in the water, dude. I thought he was like an oversized alligator or something.
Wait, can he fly? I've never seen him fly.
Well, this is all 8 powers Godzilla has in the movies that were produced, and then like which versions have them. So
he has not flew in these.
Yeah, these are the movies. 8 powers that he's been seen in the movies with.
But that's not to say they can't bring it in.
Exactly.
In the new
So
one.
we got atomic breath, flight, metal manipulation, regeneration.
Do they have like paragraphs under these?
Yes,
yeah,
they do.
Can you explain
can you go
metal?
into like the metal manipulation one a little bit more, please?
Yes, in 1974, Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla, the King of Monsters, was up against his robotic counterpart.
Yeah, that movie was weird.
So apparently it was a big challenge, and then he was able to.
So he destroyed the robot using this metal manipulation thing?
So after being repeatedly bombarded with lightning, Godzilla somehow turned into a magnetic force.
Yeah,
he
he's
was
got
able
some
to
nuclear
magnetically
shit
pull
going on.
numerous metal objects to his body, and then he was able to reel in Mechagodzilla, who is incapable of escaping his magnetic pull. So that seems like a fucking cop-out.
Yo, low-key, though, I think that, like, the old-school Godzilla movies, like, where they're in black and white and stuff.
And they're, like, action figures?
It's like, no, dude, it's like a dude in a, like,
dinosaur
costume. You know, like a dinosaur onesie, like, walking around, like, a small miniature town. I think that shit's wicked funny.
Yeah, that's so funny.
Nuclear pulse.
Yeah, he's got the news.
Spiral heat ray. Atomic rays. And apparently he can transform his body.
All right, now go to Kong, because I feel like a lot of those were like kind of the same thing. He's got like this nuclear stuff, this nuclear energy.
I think King Kong is just.
I thought he was just a giant gorilla.
Gorilla.
I know, but he's got to have something.
Yeah, yeah, he does, bro. He's a giant fucking gorilla.
I know, something else.
He does have a little something.
Yeah, I knew
what's
it.
he got? There's like powers?
I guess. Atomic breath resistance.
Oh, see, there it is. Dude, that's some bullshit. There it is. Like, that's such a cop-out.
Yeah, and then
bro.
durability,
Atomic
electricity absorption, intelligence,
bullshit,
physical strength, and radioactive immunity.
Dude, he literally has just deflected Godzilla.
I get it. No, I get that he was doing it, but I'm saying, like, he conveniently, like,
I know.
He can only resist atomic breath. Like, he got, okay.
It's not even his powers, it's what he can deflect.
Yeah.
That is so funny. That literally the first thing is, like, he can resist Godzilla's, like, #1, like, advantage. Metal manipulation. You're not going to need that with King Kong.
Yeah, now it's just that one version, so we'll see.
Maybe he will, dude.
Yeah, maybe we can get some...
Maybe he's going to, like, take some, like, steel beams and shit and, like, wrap King Kong up in something and, like...
There could be some bullshit that goes down in this.
I'm kind of feeling like... And listen, I'm not trying to go against my brother in there. Like, I love King Kong, but I might be...
You're feeling Godzilla on this one?
I might be feeling Godzilla after metal manipulation.
You know what would be so
stuff,
funny
dude?
if it was, like... The movie is released and it's like 15 minutes long and it's just Godzilla fucking Kong up for like 10 minutes and then he dies and it's just over.
Well, you know that's what's going to happen. There's going to be some boring-ass storyline and the last 5 minutes will be this epic battle that we basically just saw in the trailer.
Yeah.
And then there'll be like the one that dies will like twitch at the end.
Yeah.
They'll be like, oh shit, all right, see
it's
you in
not
2025.
Over. Like literally what happened in Superman versus Batman.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I think will happen.
I also feel like there might be some other characters or monsters coming from Skull Island to help King Kong out. I don't know why I feel that. I just feel like because there are so many monsters on that island and he's the king of it. I don't know. I feel like there could be like some backup or something.
When you say monsters, you mean like dinosaurs?
There's dinosaurs. There's like this giant spider thing. There's a bunch of creatures. There's an octopus like just living in the like water there, like giant like Titanic looking octopuses. This is all in Skull Island. I literally can whip
I'm trying to peep that low key.
Look it. Have you seen the movie?
No.
Samuel L. Jackson's in it. It's kind of a shocker, but
I don't know.
If you like look up like monsters of Skull Island, there's like a ton of them.
Bet. All right, so we'll say two Kong and one Godzilla for the sake of argument.
Yeah, for the sake of argument.
Any last minute Godzilla Kong interjections, or are we moving on?
I think we could move on. I think we're good. I just kind of wanted to like go through this list of monsters real quick.
Yeah, of course.
Of Skull Island. I just think it's so interesting.
Of course.
We're loading. Yeah, we got a skull crawl. Oh, the skull. It's literally named Skull Island. Their skull crawlers are like huge, and they live in like underneath the ground. There's Skull Island tiger, spore mantis. So that's what I was talking about, like the spider thing. It literally looks like a log, and like in like the movie they're like sitting on it, and then it blinks and like messes like half of their crew up. And then obviously you have the Kong family. Yeah, mother longlegs, sky buffalo. Like there's tons of monsters there.
Sky buffalo?
Yeah, it's dope.
That's a pretty like.
It looks like an island, like in water, and then it just like comes
I
up.
thought it would be like Avatar.
Oh, like Appa.
Yeah.
The water buffalo or the air buffalo.
Yo, that thing was sick though.
Appa?
I wanted one, dude.
Dude, he's so
one.
cute.
Yep.
You seen the mini ones?
Yeah, the little midgies.
The little baby ones are so cute.
Yeah.
And
What did you
getting
say, Jack? Yep.
Yeah, that's what they.
The little call to like.
Yep.
get 'em.
Yeah. Yip yip.
That's so funny.
Appa, yip yip.
That's great. That's good stuff.
That's so dope.
All right.
We're moving on to.
You want to take a quick break, like
Yeah.
a pee break, and
Yeah,
then
that's
come
good
back
with me.
for Hollywood and everything else?
Sounds
Yeah.
good.
Dope.
Cut. I don't know why I slated at the cut, but.
Dude, I was also gonna wear a beanie, low key.
Beanie Boys, Beanie Boy
A
podcast.
lot of people think we're the Beanie Boys, but we're really just the kid who have no friends.
No
we
friends,
walk around together
no
holding hands,
friends.
but people still don't like us because we're different.
Nobody's a friend.
Different is different, but different is new, and we are new, so
I think
are
we're
different.
rolling.
People still.
And we're back
We're
to
back.
Director's Cut podcast. All right. We're going to be moving on to a topic that has recently surfaced in the Disney realm, specifically the Mandalorian realm. Gina Carano. Recently released.
She's been in the news a lot recently.
Recently released due to social media comments. And she's now working with...
Yeah, bring it down from the top. So she worked on Mandalorian. She was in that.
She was also in Deadpool, which we recently figured out.
Mandalorian. She was a fighter.
So she started out in MMA,
Mm-hmm.
and I guess she was actually very good. I think she wanted to get out of that. She worked her way into acting after all like the publicity that surrounded her name. She was recently casted by Disney, not recently, but she was cast by Disney to play a character in The Mandalorian. But she was a conservative, which is not something you really find like too common nowadays in the movie industry. And she had a couple. I think she tweeted something about the election. She said she was never too political.
I have the tweet right here.
Yeah.
November 5th, 2020.
Yeah, it all happened in November.
Just be careful. Go ahead.
I'm just reading a tweet. We need to clean up the election process so we are not left feeling the way we do today. Put laws in place that protect us against voter fraud. Investigate every state. Film the countings. Flush out fake votes. Require ID. Make voter fraud end in 2020. Fix the system. American flag emoji.
So
This isn't a political podcast. We are just.
That was just a quote.
Yeah, we are talking about news in the Hollywood industry. So she you mentioned this was her first time voting, correct?
Well, yeah. So I was listening to a podcast she did with Ben Shapiro, and she said that it was her first time voting. She's not proud of that, but she said that she never really felt her vote counted.
Yeah. So the biggest issue is, so she had this tweet and then a few other.
She had an Instagram scandal. Which was which members said was transphobic and like slandered like gender like
identity.
Yeah, exactly.
And then she also had another tweet about something in relation to the Holocaust and like Nazis, and it was taken completely in the wrong way by the public.
What she meant to say wasn't what the public interpreted it as.
And basically, in the society we live in with this whole cancel culture.
Can I ask you a question though?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
All right. For those of you who don't remember me.
This is Nick, deep voice Nick.
This is deep voice Nick, who finally got his food. I'm feeling much better. I don't think it necessarily was the public. I think it's more of like the PR, like the public relations people, right?
Yeah.
So like I feel like Disney thought, okay, this could be a problem, so let's just get rid of the problem right this second without actually doing any research or digging into anything. And then it's kind of like backlashing on them now. Like mad people after this is obviously a couple weeks old now, this story.
Yeah.
She's already on to like
she's working for the Daily Wire.
Daily Wire with Ben Shapiro.
Yeah.
Which is great, good for her. Like everybody should be making money if you can, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is the thing that kind of sucks about the whole cancel culture thing in general. Is like, okay, so you're not just gonna like fire someone, it's like shut them down entirely.
Yeah.
So they can't do anything for themselves. But so she's moved on. She's working with the Daily Wire, Ben Shapiro, that whole team. But going back to like why she got fired and all that other stuff. I mean, people were pissed, dude.
Yeah,
like, if
people
you're a
were
Star Wars
upset.
fan, it's like Jack. It's like you being a Spider-Man fan. Like, if you're a Star Wars fan and you have these characters that for your whole life you've been going out as like, you know, these people, Han Solo every year for Halloween or whatever it is. Can you imagine what the reaction would have been if they had like fired Harrison Ford and Han Solo?
Yeah.
And they were just like, well, we didn't like what you said. So.
Especially like in between like seasons with what they're doing with Mandalorian.
Because you don't even get a chance to close it. You don't even
makes
get
no
a chance
sense.
to close the character. And I heard there was rumor coming out that there was going to be another character.
And then also replacement rumors.
But then that's the thing that got people mad. People were mad because they were like, just add another character. And why do you have to erase this character? And then like all this stuff started coming out about her tweets and her but the funny thing that gets me is the fact that she says she's not even that politically motivated. She thinks that like I said earlier, she hasn't voted. She's just not politically motivated. I guess she was always a conservative at heart. But I just think it's funny that now people are like, now she's like this big political icon.
It's
even
this
though
whole
she's
cancel
literally her
culture
first
that Nick
year
was talking about.
Yeah, it's first year voting, and she says one thing about, or multiple things about one election. And now she's gone.
It's people digging into people looking at something in a way where it wasn't supposed to be looked at, and then just going with that storyline and then convincing other people that that's what they're meant, and then immediately, like Nick said, Disney Plus or whatever was trying to get ahead of the curve and be like, all right, we got to get rid of this immediately before this does blow up. And then I think, like Nick said again, like because it did eventually blow up because of the firing of her, I think it now there's two sides of it. Someone who's like, all right, like, yeah, that makes sense. Good job on Disney Plus's part. But then the majority of what I think is people being more confused and like mad at the whole industry, because she mentioned on that Ben Shapiro podcast that like this isn't the first time something like this has happened. It's just mostly brushed under the rug, or like she sees like people in this industry get bullied because of stuff that they say in their own time or their own opinions on things, and she thinks it's a big corruption, and we've seen it in different ways.
She thinks people are being bullied, and I think she was standing up for that. So when she changed her her Instagram bio to beep bop boop instead of like specifying her own pronouns, it was a protest to her own like freedom of social media, like her freedom to say what she wanted. Because, I mean, obviously we're not in that industry. We don't like run like big major features or big movies like that, but like we're not pressured. Like we don't have pressure from people around you because it's a highly like liberal setting. And I feel like being a conservative, I think she maybe felt like at odds. Maybe wasn't the best decision, but I think she was doing it for something that she thought was justified.
I think the other big portion of it that people aren't really seeing, or that we're not really like diving into, is it's not that like. All right, so when we were all kids, like little kids, right? Disney was like no swear words. Like the idea when we were really young, the idea that Disney would someday own the Star Wars franchise, where they're like fighting with lightsabers and killing each other, like that was not even a thought. There's no way. There's no way that would ever happen. And this idea of like the Disney princess, right? Like they don't have anything wrong with them. They are not a hair out of place. They're perfect. They're good. They're wholesome. Whatever. That's fine. The issue is when, I guess in my opinion, and in Gina's opinion, is that if you allow one group of people to say horrendous things about someone, but then Gina comes out and says what she thinks about, I don't know, whatever's on her mind, and then you cancel her. Like, why is it okay for one and then not the other?
Yeah,
I guess?
there's always a double. No, there's a double standard. And going off of that, there was actually somebody a part of the Mandalorian team that was slandering her. He started a GoFundMe named, it was like Gina is like ignorant. I don't want to like quote this guy wrong, but he started a GoFundMe to make money. And it wasn't even for like the LGBTQ community. It was like, sorry for her ignorance or something. That's slander. Like, in my opinion, like you're making money for something, which obviously, hopefully, it went to the good cause, the LGBTQ like community. But I don't know. I just think that kind of stuff's bizarre.
People are stupid, bro.
Yeah.
People are stupid.
And
I mean, I don't know.
It's funny. I looked her up on YouTube, and it took me a minute to find her. It was like they like canceled her name from YouTube.
Are you serious?
I swear I looked up her name trying to find like a podcast, and like, all right, it's not that she didn't come up, but you know when you type something into YouTube and it starts giving you options like immediately underneath.
Suggested, like
there was no suggested, and her name was spelled completely right. Like, and you would think with now everything going
especially
on,
with that Ben Shapiro interview, like that's the only interview she's given about this whole thing.
And literally, I mean, I ended up finding it, but like her YouTube, you probably have to type in like 4 characters before you have what you want on that feed. I had to type in the whole thing. I don't know. I just thought that was interesting.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So where do you think she goes from here in the retrospective acting? Do you think?
Well, she's working on a movie with Ben Shapiro.
Yeah, bro. She's gonna be super successful now. Like
that's what I'm saying. I think.
And that's like the indie film.
Positive and negatives, but I think there's so many people backing her, and obviously with the support of Ben Shapiro, like I think she's gonna be good.
Well, the Daily Wire, they're trying to get into more entertainment now anyway. They're trying to do TV
and that's
shows
perfect.
And movies
and we saw
stuff.
Bill Burr was
he defended her. Yeah.
But see, you know what I like about Bill Burr too, right? It's like forget about the political shit. Like forget about that for a second. It doesn't matter what side you're on. This is America, dude. Like we're the only country in the entire world that has freedom of speech. Like without any strings attached.
Yeah.
Bill Burr is a huge proponent of freedom of speech. He'll say whatever the hell comes to his mind.
Yeah.
Like there's no question about it. So obviously it makes sense for someone like him to come forward and be like, whether you like what someone says or not, it doesn't really matter. It's what they're saying.
Exactly.
You know what I
he
mean?
defended her on like a humanity like side rather than like a political side. And he was like, you have to understand like what she's saying as a human, not like the whole cancel culture portion of it. And that's where I think it gets really like mixed signals between
wishy-washy.
certain people of what they're actually saying and what the person wants to say.
Because
that goes back to what you were saying, Jack, about how people like look at something. It's like I say the sky's blue, and then you go home and cry because I didn't say the sky's. And
then there's 3 GoFundMe pages trying to cancel the person.
Trying to say, don't worry, the sky's really pink. It's okay. You're upset about it, and we're gonna cancel Nick, and I'm gonna give my money to Jack, and the sky's gonna be pink, and everybody's fine. Like no, the sky's fucking blue.
I was telling Steven on the way up here that they're apparently now trying to cancel Eminem because of song lyrics he released 20 years ago.
Yeah, and it's
like now that like Gen Z is trying to be like, oh, he said this thing about doing drugs and maybe hitting a woman, like
maybe
he
said he'd beat a woman.
Delete
like,
all of his music off, and it's just like,
I mean, he said
are we just gonna start canceling everything?
Yeah, I don't know. You know what? You guys see this? It was pretty interesting on Twitter. You have that like option to like, it's like a safe space in Twitter, so there's an algorithm that like funnels out like bad words so that like you'll never get offended.
Well, good thing we canceled Dr. Seuss because he was really offensive in some of the stuff he let out.
What happened?
That green
that
eggs
was
and
today,
ham
right?
thing. Hey, you stop it.
I think it.
Did you see that, Nick?
It wasn't even
They canceled Dr. Seuss. They stopped learning about him in school and canceling some of his written work in like libraries.
Dude,
and
what the hell is this world coming to?
It's because
And the article I read it wasn't even because of his his writing. It was the imagery was racist.
How?
Yeah, six Dr. Seuss books won't be republished for racist images.
What are the books? Tell me what the books are right now.
Yeah, do you have the books?
Yeah, I'm pulling them up right now.
Yo, this podcast is going off the rails. I love it.
But like, I would think if anything, it was the words being said opposed to the imagery. Like, because doesn't he creates his own creatures? They're like zip zops or flip flops.
Yeah.
It's like when he doesn't have something to rhyme with, he creates his own creature for it. Like that's half the book, if not the whole book for most of the part.
Poor Dr. Seuss. He's probably rolling.
I mean, I have heard things that he was like, what he was writing during like the Vietnam War or something.
Yeah, I know. Like
I think he was like kind of like a little bit racist.
That's what I'm saying. But everything like, he's dead.
Yeah.
We've been learning about his books and
like, do you remember Dr. Seuss Day in school?
And now just randomly some person probably brought it up and tweeted it. It got a bunch of like views, and then like news stations started looking around. They're like, you know what? He's done.
It's crazy.
Dr. Seuss who?
No, the Who's live in Whoville, bro.
I don't know, not anymore. They canceled the books.
Red fish, blue fish.
I'm trying to find the specific
You're
books,
a racist.
Right.
They're making me...
One fish, two fish.
Don't offend me. I would just type in, like, what like, racist Dr. Seuss images.
All right, so, for example, And to Think I Saw It on Mulberry Street, 1937, contains an illustration of a young Chinese man that looks like pre-World War II stereotype. So they canceled.
Do you have a picture of it right there?
It's on a video.
Oh.
I don't know. The Washington Post doesn't really want me to see anything unless I subscribe for $15 a month.
That's Jeff Bezos, bro, trying to get your money. Smart man.
Yeah. All right, so let's go back to Gina.
I mean, I just think it's wild that... So Bill Burr defended her, right?
Did
he get any backlash from that?
I don't think Bill Burr cares about anyone.
I know, but
like
shit,
in the backlash.
But like, what if he gets taken? Because he's in the Mandalorian
and that's where
too.
I think it's so
there's a double
interesting
standard.
Because there's a complete double standard. Because even on the podcast with Shapiro, she mentioned that, I don't know who it was, but someone on the Mandalorian set had like a Nazi tweet 2 years before she did and got backlash for it at all. And she says one thing, and now it's like, all right, cancel, you're good.
And, and he used it in
because it was the other guy. It was Raphael, whatever.
Yep.
Like the I don't know, like one of her co-stars. But the reason that it was okay, this is my point about the double standard, bro. He was saying that Donald Trump and his supporters are like Nazis. So it's like, whether you believe that or not, that's fine. What I was trying to say is, if Gina Carano can't say that people are Nazis, then neither should whatever the hell the other guy's name. Like, if you're gonna be wholesome and family-oriented, everything, that's fine. But you
got to do it with everyone.
With one and not the other. That's
it can't be anecdotal.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we'll continue Well, I'm sure that's going to be in the news and
just like
being updated on that.
Yeah, just another point on it though is right when she got called out for like I guess it was the beep bop boop thing on Instagram. She had a meeting with the LGBTQ like members of Disney,
which I think was good to do.
Yeah, and she agrees. She hopped on there. She explained herself, and from what I heard from the Ben Shapiro podcast was they were all fine with it. They all forgived her. They didn't like take any offense to it because she explained herself. But it was the people who weren't a part of that community
who were having the biggest issue.
And I think like Nick said it earlier. I think it was PR.
Yeah.
I think it was them trying to, I don't know. Apparently, she hopped on a Zoom call, but she was like, I would rather go to dinner with you guys so I can talk to you guys, look you guys in the face, like, actually, like, hash this out.
Yeah. I think it's a shame because I think it's just a big misunderstanding on both sides of it. And the fact that now, even in the most simple way of looking at it, us being fans of her work in The Mandalorian, we don't get to see it anymore. You know what I mean? Like, it just in the simplest form, like, now that we can't see her character develop anymore and can't see her in another season.
And do you think that messes with storyline?
The saddest part about it, bro, is, like, because of someone's political views, the whole world has to suffer when she's not even a politician. It's not like... Because that... Well, let me back that up really quick, because that could be taken the wrong way. It's not that, like... she's a politician who can enforce certain laws and vote on these things and all that stuff. But because of her personal political views, the entire world is now not allowed to enjoy the character that she was creating.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? On screen and bringing to life.
I completely agree.
That sucks ass, dude. That sucks. That's not even cool. Like that. I don't care what anybody's political views are. If you're an actor on TV. You know what I mean? Like, I just want to see the show. I'm not there for Gina. I'm there for the character.
Yeah.
Now the character has to be rewritten or like...
Rewritten, disappeared, not even sold at toy stores anymore. Her action figure was canceled by
That's
Hasbro.
Crazy, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
that's crazy.
It's as if she didn't even exist, that character.
Yeah.
Did you...
I'm surprised. Like, again, I can't talk much about, like, the female empowerment thing because I'm not a chick, but she was a strong, badass female character.
Yeah.
Imagine you're a little girl, right? You go to the store with your mom. You're like, oh, I want the Gina Carano action figure or whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, no, honey. That was canceled years ago.
No, I'm saying,
Can't
like,
even find it.
Right? Yeah, but I'm saying, like, months ago. Like, let's say you go, you know, you're a little girl, you go with your mom or your dad or whatever, the toy store, or you, like, get one for Christmas, something you, like, think it's the coolest thing ever. Now what are they going to do? You're going to go to school with your action figure, and all the other kids are going to be like, dude, that's not even a real character. Like, you're a loser or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Like, that sucks, dude.
Yeah.
That's hard. Oh, strong female empowerment. No, canceled. No, you can't have that.
So, you know how we talked about, like, everyone else in the world suffering? Do you think it's, like no one really wants her to be, like taken off the show, but why do they do it then? For the shareholders' sake, so that, like, their stock doesn't drop?
Well, I think there was a movement that was like, you know, she needs to be killed off, replaced. Like, there was that group of people who are the complete...
They're, all right,
like,
yeah.
The extremes where they're like, get her off the show.
But I think it's people who don't watch the show.
Yeah.
I think it's people who don't have any care for the Mandalorian that...
Bro, they're keyboard fucking heroes, dude.
Yeah.
They're people that sit behind Twitter and, like, see things from 1939 and think they're still relevant today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like, stirring the pot type of people.
Exactly.
Bro, can you imagine how big of a loser you have to be like, sitting at home, losing sleep, like, actually not getting sleep over someone else's job?
Yeah.
Like, whether or not, like, you, like, that's what you wake up in the morning every day and you're like, I hope she gets fired. What do you do for work? Well, I bag groceries at, like, fucking Stop and Shop or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Well, why the hell are you worried about this broad over here?
Yeah.
Like, let her do whatever
They
she
have nothing
wants
better to do.
And to the people who are genuinely offended, like, that's, like, I'm sure she's genuinely sorry.
Yeah, and she even said that. She's like, it was taken in the wrong context in every way possible. I have no hard feelings against any, like, political group or any, like, you can do what you want, but I also have the right to do what I want. So why am I the only one getting backlash?
Yeah, man, that's crazy.
And there are people out there who say some racist stuff, like, and they deserve to be held accountable.
Yeah.
But it's whether or not you can weed out the people from, like, trying to make a point.
Yeah.
Or like, I don't know, from the people who are clearly are just trying to like hurt people.
It's just such a interesting subject, especially nowadays with this whole.
You got to watch what you say.
Yeah.
You got to watch what you say all the time, and it's funny because it's like you're supposed to be able to say whatever you want.
Yeah.
Other than like certain things.
For all we know,
but
people are going to be cutting up this podcast and like molding together different stuff we say, and we're gonna get canceled before we even go on.
We're gonna get canceled already.
If we're famous enough to get canceled after this podcast, I'll buy you both a car.
But what if we blow up and then they come back to this one and then we get Gina.
Okay, hear me right now. Gina. People of the future, okay? Coming back to this one. Hear me out right now.
Scarlett Johansson?
Scarlett.
What's up, Batty?
Everybody, Gina,
what up, Florence?
listen up, the whole world. I'm going to say whatever I want to say, within reason, within my constitutional rights, and I wish everyone the same thing. Jack, I tell you this all the time. Stephen, you too. I wish everybody health, wealth, and happiness. That's it.
Yes,
That's
sir.
all it is.
Yes, sir. I agree with you.
Yeah.
You're not going to stomp on my right to say whatever the hell I want to say, though. So, I wish you health, wealth, and happiness, and get the fuck out of my life.
Preach it.
All right. Well,
we'll continue coming back to Gina if there's more in the news in the weeks following. But I think
let's just get
we made a good.
Maybe we can even like dive into like the Daily Wire, the movie she's working on at some point.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
Later down
when
the
there's
road.
More news. About
I would love to see what it is. Apparently she's working on it. Like I don't know if it's her storyline. She's always apparently wanted to develop her own movie. And make her own movie. So it'll be very interesting to see what the project is.
Yeah.
I liked her a lot in Deadpool, so.
Yeah.
She was fire.
I think it's so funny how much Ben Shapiro loves Star Wars, and now he's got like one of his own Star Wars character
he was
working
hard in that interview, huh?
Yeah.
Ben Shapiro was sitting there, and she would say like, "Oh, like I didn't sleep that well last night." And he's like, "Ha ha, that's so funny."
Yeah,
like,
I love that.
It's like not even funny.
Yeah,
is that your leg underneath the table?
Right. I think it's wicked. He's totally like nerding out over it, like he's got like a Star Wars.
He's such a nerd, but I love it.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's so well spoken, Loki.
Yeah, he's a smart guy.
All right.
Well, if the whole other story didn't get us canceled before, you saying Ben Shapiro's a smart guy.
Yeah, we're gonna cut that one out.
We're gonna do what we want when we want and how we want to. I don't know. I'm just getting scared.
It's like go subscribe to the Young Turks.
That's crazy.
We'll plug them below so we don't get canceled.
Right. Yeah. That's wicked funny, actually.
Jesus. Moving on.
Sure.
Let's do it.
So,
do it up.
Recently, Amazon Prime Video.
Oh, this sucks.
Yep. So Nick, you were the one actually that shared this with me. So do you want to give a brief rundown, then we can talk about it?
Yeah. Okay. So apparently, Amazon Prime. I mean, I don't know how much or how. Okay. So basically, for the longest time, I mean, don't get me wrong. Amazon made you jump through hoops as an independent filmmaker. Like you had to submit with subtitles and a whole bunch of other crap, but basically they are now locking out certain documentaries and shorts and I think like short films and stuff. For a minute there, I will admit, it was becoming like YouTube for independent filmmakers, and I'm sure it's hurting some people. I'm sure it's hurting the industry, but I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel about it, because Jack, you and I have watched some indie movies on Amazon that are
atrocious.
Your words, my man. You said it.
And that's where I think I agree with you, where it's like it was kind of turning into like a YouTube platform type thing, but there are
within reason, bro. There were like hoops. They made you jump through hoops.
But even having those, from what I thought, weren't the best films on. At least it's on the platform. Like you have the chance to see it, and now the fact that they're like breaking down what is allowed on there, documentary and like independent short wise, I think it causes a problem with independent filmmakers like trying to release their stuff to the public. Because Amazon Prime was this huge platform that like was pretty accepting if you did jump through the right loops. Hoops. Oh my lord!
Wow.
Title of podcast number
Jack
1.
screeches at whatever minute
Jack
we're
hits
at.
puberty halfway through.
Right.
The evolution.
Our take on Gina Carano and Jack's nuts finally dropping. All right, ready? So here, what they said was, and this is based on Filmmaker magazine. Amazon said, quote, "At this time, we're no longer accepting unsolicited licensing submissions via Prime Video Direct for nonfiction and short-form content. We'll notify you if these categories become available for consideration." So it is kind of like, it sucks, but they're not doing short films anymore, or they're not taking unlicensed short films and documentaries anymore, because people were going out with their cameras and just making, filming their daily routine, I guess, and then uploading it to Amazon Prime Video Direct and saying, "This is a documentary about a Wednesday, July 25th, blah blah blah." Nobody gives a shit. Like, nobody cares. And it was taking up space. And
That's why they're canceling it. Like, that's why they're doing it, just because I feel like there's
I've seen some whack shit on there. Yeah, I watched this. Got 3 minutes into this Bridgewater Triangle conspiracy theory, like, because I live kind of around the area where apparently there's this big conspiracy, like alien triangle, and it was this dude walking around with the camcorder just saying shit, and was on Amazon Prime. Like,
are you serious?
Yeah, so serious. It's called the Bridgewater Triangle.
Well, we don't need to promote it, bro. If it's like,
yeah, you just plugged it like 4 times.
I'm sure it got canceled.
All right, I'm gonna be the devil's advocate. I'm not like I'm not a big fan of this. I mean, I think weeding like out the bad from the good is always like, but like Amazon Prime was like built on the back of like indie film.
No, I agree.
No, Amazon.
No.
There's multiple evidence.
Let's back the fuck up here, because Amazon was an online bookstore, bro. That's what Amazon
I meant
was.
Amazon Prime.
Prime is only a way to get your items shipped to you quickly. It's a membership thing. Prime Video Direct is definitely built on, on indie filmmaker submissions. But here's the problem, though, right? So they came out with their Prime Video Direct and Amazon Prime Video and all this stuff in response to Netflix, because they wanted to get into the streaming world. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So the problem is that now, and this is a little bit of a fucked up part, but it's the truth, now that they're big, like they have a lot of people who watch Prime Video and they have good, like, major motion picture movies on there and stuff like that. Now they're saying we don't need you anymore. You know what I mean? So I get what you're saying on the side.
Yeah.
It's like, it's a little messed up. But you got to look at it from the perspective of, bro, do you want a place? We already have YouTube. We already have YouTube for shit content.
Yeah.
You can put whatever the hell you want on YouTube, within reason.
This is probably going on YouTube.
So. No, it definitely is.
So
it definitely is. But that's what I'm saying. You can put the worst shit ever. I'm just kidding. You can put whatever you want on YouTube. You know what I mean? But I think I like the idea that you have the platform and the availability to put stuff on Amazon Prime. I just wish that they weren't eliminating the categories altogether, like short films and documentaries. They should go through like a review process.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then I guess the question becomes like, who reviews it? So they probably just said, "Fuck it, we'll take it all out altogether." But
yeah, I think there should be a review process.
Trying to clarify this for me, because I'm a little confused.
Yeah.
Say we made an independent film.
Yep.
There's 0% chance it goes on
like
Amazon Prime, or is it like something where it now has to go through more of a like process to get there, or is it like not even a possibility now?
So they are not taking unsolicited, meaning viewer or user submission. They are not taking unsolicited licensing submissions via Prime Video Direct for nonfiction and short form content. So we would have, what they're saying is, if you write a 2-hour feature and you want to submit that, they'll take it. They're not taking short films, and they're not taking documentaries.
That's beat.
I know. But
let's write a 2-hour movie.
Yeah.
If you're gonna make, right? It's time to write a feature.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's my point, though. That's exactly what I'm saying. So yes, they eliminate this stuff where it's like the guy with the camcorder. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that all the documentaries on Amazon Prime were crap, and I'm not saying that all of the short films were crap either. But it's like an overwhelming flow, like a river of shit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're just trying to clean it up from their point of view.
Exactly. So what should that make every content creator want to do? Step up their
game. Step the fuck up and make that 2-hour special and give it to Amazon.
And then make it good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And in the same regards, I feel like now it means something more to the creator if you're like, I'm on Amazon Prime. Because now there is a different standard rather than being like, I'm on Amazon Prime. And yeah, I know. I filmed something in my backyard the other day and I put it on Amazon Prime too. You know what I mean?
Does it cost money to upload anything?
No.
It's free?
Yeah.
It's literally like YouTube.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. That is interesting.
When you guys put it like that, I definitely agree that they need to have some sort of regulation.
See it both ways. Especially from like our point of view where we, like if we wanted to make a short film, like we have and put it on Amazon Prime, now we can't. You know what I mean? Now like we don't even have the option to.
Well, I guess what is, like, who cares though?
Oh no, I know.
No, I'm saying like, so we have YouTube, we have video, we have everything else. Half these movies, there's a plane flying over, thank you. Half these movies, like, never get seen by anybody except your close friends anyway.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, why do people even care that Amazon's not available anymore? Not to mention the fact that you had to like jump through like all this paperwork and agree to all these terms and put all like certain file sizes and all this other crap together to get it on Amazon anyway. Just put the damn thing on YouTube and, you know, if it's good enough, bro, people make millions of dollars a year on YouTube.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's just the whole sense of being like, something I did is on Amazon Prime.
That's what I'm asking, though.
Yeah.
Why? Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
You know?
I do know. I feel that.
Steve, you feel me?
Yeah, I feel you. I mean, I guess it's like a step up, like, from YouTube, I guess.
But this is my point. Is it really because of all the shit that's on there? Is it like what's in a name?
And you know what's interesting? I don't mean to cut you off, but it's like kind of half already out of my mouth. Ever since
so you're gonna listen now?
Ever since, maybe it's just I've been seeing it more because of COVID, or just the sense that YouTube is getting so much more popular. People are putting like really good short films, really good I feel like the whole YouTube industry is getting so much better with the content that's being put on there. So that's where I do agree with you, where it's like if you have YouTube to put it on with, you can put on a movie on, like, there's countless movies on YouTube that are still good films, like even films? If they are on a platform like YouTube. You know what I mean?
Do you think YouTube's algorithm just does it better, though, to tailor to what you like to watch? Because Amazon Prime, like, I don't know how good their, like, algorithm is.
I'll text Jeff and see what he says.
Yeah, no, I'll FaceTime him. Like,
JB real quick?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, no, he's no longer the head guy.
Oh, facts. Poor guy.
Yeah.
No, but
because now he's over at the Washington Post getting $15 a head.
Yeah.
People who want to read stuff about Gina Carano or Dr. Seuss. That's why.
No, but you kind of know what I mean, though, that people are using the YouTube platform now to like.
Yeah, definitely a lot
like,
better. Like quality, like just like shooting wise.
Because you don't need to release on a streaming platform anymore, because YouTube is one of its own. Like, people will go there to watch hour-long videos of like something they subscribe to every week, and I feel like it's just getting better and better. So
yeah,
I don't know.
So hit subscribe.
Yeah, smash that.
Literally smash your computer against a wall.
Before you do that,
hit subscribe.
Make sure you subscribe.
Leave a comment down below.
Yeah, comment whether or not. Oh wait, we're not using that past podcast. I was gonna say whether or not Jack actually called the ending to Shutter Island.
Oh shit! Yeah, we'll get in.
We'll expose him for that one day.
Yeah, but in all honesty, we will have link to WillCo Media website down below,
Check out the short films.
You'll be able to listen to this podcast anywhere you like to listen to podcasts, as it will be distributed everywhere.
Yes.
And
except for Amazon.
Yeah, this podcast will not go on Amazon.
Yeah, we'll not be able to get it there, but
I don't know.
All right, well, we'll probably be doing more podcasts pretty soon. We're not sure if we're going to do weekly or maybe twice a week.
We're still trying to get into the swing of it, so if you made it this far through this entire thing, we appreciate you as human beings.
Yeah.
We respect your decisions and your opinions.
And we'll see you next week.
And we'll see you next week.
All right. Directors, cut it.